Welcome to Rewrite the Song, a Tune Into Wellness podcast. Music, recovery, redemption. I'm your host, Jake Paul. Here's my process for eliminating anxiety with guitar, breathwork, and simple meditation. It's somewhat baffling to me to think back at how I had anxiety since I was a child, and now I don't. The part that astonishes me the most is how my perception has changed. I see that we live in a society where not everyone wants you to get better. Not blaming or judging, just noticing. By the way, if you've ever seen the movie The Truman Show and you have anxiety on a regular basis and don't know why, there's a high probability that you're Truman. When I broke through and had my awakening, never have I ever felt so free and light. And by broke through, I mean I broke a cycle that I was trapped in for many years. That cycle was causing more anxiety, although I was kind of tricked into thinking it was helping with my anxiety. I'm about to show you how you can break through too, if you're ready. I'm not going to tell you what I discovered specifically about my own personal source of anxiety here. That answer will slow you down in uncovering your own source of anxiety. And you can't solve your own problem by copying what someone else did exactly, because you're different from them and you have your own unique circumstances, backstory, the things that led you here. Your problems are your problems, and my problems are my problems. We might have similar problems, but ultimately we have to solve our own problems in our own way in order to truly break free from them permanently. It's the hero's journey. When I saw what my problem really was, then I faced it. I can, however, give you some nuggets of hope that might help you along your way, discovering your own source of anxiety. And I'm about to provide a process that will help you tolerate the discomfort needed to hang in there until you do break through. But you are not my clone, so I have to be careful not to share too much specific information about my experiences in terms of the finite details, because again, that's only going to slow your progress down. I'm getting into some deeper shit here. Think Alan Watts, The Matrix, Carl Jung, Shadow Work, Gabor Mate, Gary Zukov, James Clear, The Alchemist, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, just to reference some of the resources I used along my journey. But if you want to break through, you have to go deep like that, because that's where the source of your anxiety exists. Unfortunately for the masses, the idea of and value behind self-reflection has been buried, covered up, and ignored. Not only because it's uncomfortable to sit with, but because we were taught at a very young age to suppress it, hide it, and just kind of deal with it. We now have the luxury of infinite distractions. How's that working for us? This reminds me of the biblical passage about how so many people point out the splinter in others while ignoring the beam in their own eye. I'm going to keep this deep train rolling here because never have I ever seen so many people with anxiety and trauma. I've worked with students for over 20 years, and this is a peak awareness moment in my career for anxiety and mental health. So many people are currently struggling, both adults and kids. We need a hero again. We need hope. We need something to believe in. You want to know why so many people are struggling right now? Because we're waking up. We are becoming more aware that something isn't quite right with our day-to-day expectations of what we are supposed to do with our time. We're sensing that we don't fit in here, not because something is wrong with us, but because the game is flawed and we can sense it. And we're tired of trying to pretend that we believe in the myth we've been taught throughout and are supposed to believe in. We're tired of all the distractions. Our attention has been hijacked. Again, think of The Truman Show. You don't have to go to any extremes as far as making some public statement that you are going to try and break through. And by break through, I mean solve your anxiety problem once and for all and finally be, quote unquote, free. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't really tell anyone at this current point. I would just do it. Do it secretly so that the masses don't have a chance to turn on you and try to talk you out of it. And when you start to experience something new within, people will in fact try to talk you out of it. Hey, are you okay? That's what someone near and dear to me recently asked me. I could sense that she felt uncomfortable around my calm happiness. and by default turned it on me rather than wonder about herself, by targeting me with a direct question at a very weird moment. So that is a lot to chew on, isn't it? And that's why you have to come back often, check in. As soon as you get off this computer or phone and go out there, you'll begin to see things differently and wonder, what reality is true? The one in my head or the one I see in my local community? You'll begin to wonder why so many people pretend. That's why I wrote the song Move On. If you haven't listened to the lyrics yet, or if you've heard the song but never thought about the lyrics, give it another listen.
So why does everyone pretend I'm moving on instead? I'm moving on.
It's probably a little safer for now that you also pretend. Play along, but keep your new secret hope in the back of your mind and protect it like it's the most valuable treasure you've ever seen. Because those who don't know how to uncover their own treasure will try to take yours. It's also why I'm not telling you exactly what my own source of anxiety was specifically. You can do the math, watch my videos, read my blogs, and see that I come from a background of trauma and addiction. And the details might be entertaining or perhaps could give you a sense of temporary relief. But ultimately, you have to discover your own treasure. That treasure is found by asking yourself, what is the source of my anxiety? Here's a clue. It isn't another person or people, and it's not an event from the past or the future. Here is how I did it, how I broke through. Number one, I knew that something wasn't quite right with having to live with anxiety my whole life. I mean, there are so many beautiful creations in life to see. Why would I be created with anxiety? I must not be understanding something. So I decided to take new action. Number two, I started to sit with my anxiety in small doses. I sat quietly in a comfortable position for as long as I could, within reason. More specifically, I sat for about 1 to 2 minutes at first, then 3 minutes, then 5 minutes, sometimes up to 15 minutes. Insights about the source of my anxiety started showing up randomly in my head. And by randomly, I mean this. Try this thought experiment. Say the word thought right now in your mind. Now say the sentence, I just thought this thought, right now in your mind. See, that was you telling yourself what to think? Now, if a random thought just pops in your head and guides you towards your next step, or a past memory jumps into your mind and that memory leads you to a new insight about your anxiety, you are on your way to breaking through. The random thoughts that feel good, provide curiosity or a sense of hope, are the insights I'm referring to. Don't be surprised if you start seeing synchronicities or coincidences too. Number three, I then picked up my guitar and I did some basic note picking or strumming. I paired my breathing with the picking or strumming pattern until I achieved a state of calm and rhythm. Usually takes about 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes up to 10. Number four, over time I connected notes to other notes, chords to other chords, and started making songs to express all the turmoil I was experiencing inside. In other words, I got it out. I let it out. I uncovered some pain, and I released it. Number five, repeat some or part of this process daily as needed. And that is my process. I feel free. I am calm again. I have purpose. I have a choice. I have no anxiety. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, check out my links in the description if you want to go deeper. If you have a story that you feel like you want to get out, email me, jake@jakepaulmusic.com. And remember, you can calm your mind, one chord at a time. Thanks for tuning in.